I'm Robin Scherzer, and welcome to Robin's Stampin' Hood. Hi, this is Robin Scherzer, and welcome to Robin's Stampin' Hood. So today I am going to show you what we did in my Spring Fling class that was had this weekend. We used this sweet a Latte Love, which was so much fun. We did some coffee themed socks and keychains, and of course our projects are coffee themed, obviously. So I wanted to share that with you. I just love this paper. I'll be honest with you, when I first got married 30 some years ago, I was not a coffee drinker, but my husband was. So he is the coffee snob in our house, but I do like a little cream with my coffee, or should I say a little coffee with my cream. My coffee's pretty white. So, but I just love the images. I love the color. So here's the paper, and it doesn't do it justice because I wasn't able to cut out, big enough swatches of it. But it has the coral, calypso, early espresso, lemon lolly, lost lagoon, pecan pie, and petal pink. So we're gonna go ahead and do the projects that I did. And the first project I did was this Adorbs notebook. Now, I did it because I thought, we're sitting there in the morning having our coffee, if we're lucky to sit and be having our coffee, and we're probably thinking about things that we need to do, whether it's a grocery list or a thing of activities that you need to get done, errands. This, I thought, was the perfect little notebook to do for that. So it has your little notepad, and we put a little piece of paper up there. And you have a pocket here for receipts or whatever little reminders you might need. And then this pulls out easily to replace. Some of the notepads I've done in the past, we've actually taken this off, and then we have had to like re-glue them back down. So the thing I like about this particular one is being able to stick our notepad directly in there like that. So super cute. Very quickly put together. So I'm going to show you how we did that. We did have a little bit of a snafu when I first did it because I cut some people's paper wrong, and I was so baffled, like, what? I don't understand why this isn't working. It works so perfectly for me. So I'm going to show you how to put together the actual folder. Super, super easy. You have two pieces of paper you'll need. They'll both have to be, and this is where I messed up for some people, they both have to be 11 inches. So I put these two together. Okay, I did 11 inches. But then on one of them, it's gonna be, this one is 5 7/8 by 11. So it's obviously, thinner, but the same length. And then this one is actually just 8 by 11. So you're just cutting a 1/2 inch off of your 8-inch side. So, but you should have the lengths there. And like I said, that's where I messed people up. And it was so baffling, and I was getting a little frustrated, but they all handled me with grace. So I'm thankful for them. All right, so let's start with our first. I'm gonna put my cutting blade all the way to the bottom, and let's do some scoring. So on the short side, which is this side, we are gonna score, this is the 5 7/8 by 11 piece. So on the short side, we are going to score, let me push this in here a little bit. We're gonna score at 5 1/2. So we're gonna bring that all the way down. Let's see, can you see probably not. I probably need to go up a little higher there. But then on the long side, which of course is the landscape side, we are going to score at 2 3/4. So those are the only scores you need. Very basic, right? All right. So then with the 8 1/2 by 11 on the short side, we're gonna score at 3/8. And because it's such a small score, I'm gonna use this side of my cutter, but then I'm gonna have to flip my paper around and continue on. So I had long discussions yesterday with where the eighths are. So the eighths are between, or the bigger line between our quarters. So this is 1/4 of an inch, and this is a 1/2 inch. And you see there's 3 little lines between those. Well, the bigger of the 3 little lines is 1/8 of an inch. The little lines are 16ths. I rarely go the 16ths route, but sometimes we do. I usually do quarter routes, but you know, a quarter of an inch. But in this particular project, you have to use an eighth. So we're gonna say in a couple places. So 3/8 is gonna sit between the quarter and the half. So I'm just gonna do that there. And it's just easier going this way for that particular measurement. But because I did that, I need to switch it around. And then my next measurement's gonna be 5 7/8. So the same premise, there are 8, or I should say there's 7 of those lines. So when you look at this, you see 1, and you're gonna count the big line 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then the 8th would be the 6th. So that would be 8/8, which is 6. So, which is the 6 in this case. So I'm gonna go to 5 7/8. So it's the big tick right below the 6. I know, did I just totally confuse you by telling you that? And then I'm gonna open up my arm because I do need 6 1/4. So that sits right there. All right. And then we're gonna turn on the long side and do 2 3/4. All right. And that is all the scoring that we need to do there. So the first thing we wanna do is I wanna cut off this square right here. And of course I don't have my scissors. I thought they were over here, but we'll grab this other pair of scissors. How about those apples? So I'm actually cutting off, I'm gonna go ahead and just score this so you can see it a little bit better. So you're gonna cut off this rectangle right here. So you're gonna just go right up the score line. Oops, right up the score line and right up this score line. Okay, and now we're just gonna go ahead and we're gonna burnish all of these really well. Let me grab my bone folder. So you're gonna burnish all your score lines now. And we're gonna get it nice and pretty so you can see what it looks like put together. It's really simple. So those were the simple, and then I'm gonna take this piece here and give it a really good burnish as well. Okay, so I actually probably burnished that wrong. I did. I want to go back this other way, and I'm going to just fold that the other way now, which is fine. And we want to do this here. So I want to create my binding, and what I'm going to do is take my tear-in tape on this smaller piece, and you are going to just run it from the very top to the very bottom of this piece. And then we're gonna pull it off. Grab my little pokey tool. We're gonna pull it off. Ooh, that came off nice and easy. And then we're gonna take this and lay it on top of, can you see that? I know I'm probably blocking it. We're gonna just lay it right on top of that piece. I want you to be able to see it, so I don't want to go. There we go. Beautiful. So then I'm just going to give it a good rub, make sure that it sticks down. So that's your piece. Can you see that? I'll move it a little bit back and forth there. So now we want to create our pockets. And on the bottom, don't put any tape here, otherwise you're going to make your pockets go away. So we're going to, up to the score line, we're going to just put sticky strip here, or tear tape. I always call it sticky strip. That, when I started, it was sticky strip. And I do like this better because I can tear it. Where the sticky strip, that was some tough stuff. And then we're gonna put that right here. I probably need to put my camera up a little bit, and I'm gonna stop and do that in just a moment so you can see my whole surface there. So you can see I've put sticky strip here, here, and here. Do not put it here, otherwise, because we're gonna fold these up and create that pocket. So I'm actually gonna give this a little burnish before I do that, because I feel like I didn't quite do that as well as I should have. And then we're gonna go ahead and pull up the tear and tape. And give it, you can give that a little rub too, to make sure it actually sticks down for you. Pull that up. I'm just gonna rub it just a little bit. Oops. And this one. All right, oops. And then we're gonna just close her up. And you're gonna give it a good rub, make sure it stays where it needs to stay. And so now you have the base of your, see, of that. And so this will close like that. And this will close like that. So you have the basis of your little folder. Pretty easy. Can you see that? All right, I'm gonna move my camera and I will be right back. Okay, so I think that's a little bit better. So let's go ahead and get our stamping done. And well, actually, you know what? Let's put our designer series paper on. So I've already cut it, and I decided I wanted to use these retro coffee cups, which I thought were kind of fun. So this piece measures 5 1/4 by 8 inches. So let's go ahead and put that on. Now, these are cute too. They would totally work. Maybe I'll do that. You know what? I'm gonna do that because I already have a notebook like that. So I'm gonna change it up a little bit. Oh my gosh, here we go. So I'm just gonna put some glue. I'm making the jump. I'm making the decision. We're gonna put glue on all of that. And then we'll go ahead and put that on. Oh yeah, those coffee cups are super cute. Now, my square might not work that I already did, but let's see. Maybe we can find a different square to make it work. We'll look at that. This is called Adventures in Stamping with Robin. So you just sit back and enjoy the ride. So then on this, so this is the back of it. So we're not gonna decorate the back of it, but this would be the side flap that comes over and closes. So we're gonna go ahead and put that on. Oh, get some in the corners there. All right. And then here. Cute, cute, cute. All right. So really, I mean, that's it. We're gonna go ahead though and decorate this because this has some crazy mushrooms on it. Now I could do the paper like that, or again, I can flip it over and I think I'm just gonna do that. I'm gonna flip it over and use those cute little coffee cups. Oh my gosh. Yes, yes, yes. So we'll do that. And then it just slips right in to our pocket here. If I can get it open there. There we go. It just slips right in to the pocket. Beautiful. And then it's gonna close like that. I'm gonna actually center this a little bit better so when we go to put our little notes on there, we know what we're doing. Okay, so then it closes like this. So I'm gonna go ahead, I don't have my Velcro here right now. I'm gonna grab it in a second, but let's decide about this here. Now it might work, right? I think it might work. Originally I had done this with it, but maybe I don't use I think I'll just do the pecan pie and the early espresso. I think that would work really cute. So let's do that. All right, I think we'll do the cup and the pecan pie. So we'll get that out here, and I think I probably need a pad because that's a big piece. So let's grab our cup. I'm gonna stamp right here. Cute, right? Is that cute? Oh my gosh. So got that. And then I'm gonna add in the inside, there's a little like coffee thing that you can do. So I'll add that. Make sure I hit where it needs to go. There we go. And then we're gonna stamp our Just a Note. Now the Just a Note came from the Go-To Greetings, which I tell people all the time, you have to have it in your stash because it's got the thinking of you, the happy birthday, Just a Note, and I think this will be perfect across there. Yes, so stinking cute. All right, oops, we're gonna close that up so that doesn't happen again. And get this out of the way because my hand will quickly go into it. And then we'll go ahead and, oops, put this, I am just throwing things all over here. Put some more glue on here. And so this lemon lolly piece is from the oh my goodness, Stitch Shapes, I believe. Let me look. Stylish Shapes, sorry. The Stylish Shapes. And the piece that I put around it, the Early Express, or the Early Espresso, is actually 2 5/8 by 2 5/8 to create that. So now we want to go ahead and decorate the front here. Now we need it to be off-centered just a little bit. I'm gonna put a little higher because we don't want it to interfere with that flap there. So we're gonna actually make it more of a, centered in this piece instead of the whole piece. So what I want to do though is I want to add some embellishments. We're going to do a little ribbon here, and this is also part of that suite, which I love. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually take tear tape and put it on the back of my piece here to hold the ribbon in place, but then I'm going to put it up on dimensionals. And that just gives my ribbon a little place to be held. We all like to be held, right? Maybe. Okay, so let's pull these pieces off. All right, make sure I'm going the right way, and I probably put those on the wrong way. But let's see, let's do this. This is about an 8-inch piece of ribbon. So I kind of want it to cross. I want it to, maybe it's not long enough, but let's see. We'll make it work. There we go. So then I'm just putting that on top of just to give it a little extra something. And then I'm gonna come along with my dimensionals and pop it up. And I will put some dimensionals on top of the ribbon too, just because this ribbon is a little bulky. I want to make sure that it stays in place. So like I said, I'll put some dimensionals on the ribbon as well. All right, put one more there and one more there. Okay, pull those up. I love this little notepad. It'll be sitting on my table to know what the heck's going on. So let's close this again. And we're just gonna kind of center it in the middle of this. All right, put that on. Beautiful, beautiful. And now let's put on our Velcro strips. So the Velcro I just got from the Dollar Tree. They sell them in, like packs of 20, I think. So I felt like because it was such a big piece, I originally just put one on, and then when I pulled it, I felt like I was really messing with it. So when you put Velcro on, make sure they're together, and then, oops, hello, keep it in your hands. And then you're gonna pull apart the stickiness there, and you're going to place it where you want it to be. Now, I'm gonna put mine a little closer to the edge. My original is not very close to the edge, and it was kind of weird and bulky. So we're gonna go ahead and do that on all of them. And I'm just eyeballing. You do not have to, you know, have it exactly symmetrical. I mean, unless that's who you are, you go for it, but I don't need that. So I'm just gonna do that. And then pull that off. And then I might have these upside down, but it's okay. I'm one of those people that I don't care about perfection. I just enjoy creating. So then you're gonna close it, give them a little push, and then so then every time you go to close it, it should close it perfectly into place. So you're nice and good. You're all lined up. So there's that, but I want to put some more bling on this. I feel like it's a little blah. So let's grab the embellishments that go with this. So they have these cute little swirl dots, and they come in the 3 different colors. So I think I'm going to do the darker color since we have so much light. And you know, I have a little splotch right there, so I think I'm going to put one there. See? You can cover up your mistakes, and maybe another one there so then it doesn't look so awkward just sitting out in the middle of nowhere. And then we'll put one there. So there you go, you guys. You have a cute little notepad holder for when you're drinking your coffee. So what are the really nice things about this suite, which I probably didn't show you the stamp set, but here's the stamp set. There's the hellos there. Hello there, let's catch up. Thanks so much. You're the best part of my day, and this one's on me. So we're actually using all of the sayings in this set today, so you'll get to see all of them and a few of the stamp sets. But we're not using all the stamp sets because of this great paper. So this is my favorite sheet of paper, obviously. And what I love too is that the actual dies that come with this bundle, it fits right over these coffee cups. And you can cut out all these coffee cups, or they're easy to fussy cut too. You can do that too. But I love them. Look at you guys. Oh my gosh, so many fun little coffee cups. And how can you not love this, right? So we're gonna make a card with this paper. Okay, so this is the next project we're doing, a project 2. And this is, like I said, the cups. I love the cups. So we're gonna pull some of the cups that I cut, and I think we'll use this one. And it has this one too, but I'm drawn to the Lost Lagoon. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna use the Lost Lagoon as well. So we'll put those aside there, but let's go ahead then, and we need to stamp our little sentiment, which is, you know, you're the best part of the day. And here's the little splotchy splotches that we're gonna use. And and we're gonna do that in pecan pie. So we're gonna just use a piece of scrap paper and do that real quick. And again, this is a photopolymer stamp set, so we probably wanna use our piercing pad under it just to get a better image. Yes, I know what I'm saying, image. So I'm just gonna stamp that there, and I'm gonna go ahead and punch it out right away, and then I'm gonna add my little splatters. So this is the 1 3/4 inch punch, and I always punch upside down, and then I can move it. Like if I was way off, you know, you can center it how you want it. And it doesn't matter then if you stamped it crooked, you can uncrooked it with the punch. So then I'm just gonna lay this under here while I do this so I don't get my mat. And then I'm just gonna do some coffee splotches. We'll do one up here, and maybe we'll do one down here. Fun, right? Okay, so we'll get those out of the way so we don't put our hands on them again, because I am notorious. All right, So we are using crumb cake, and that is our base. So it's just your normal 8.5 by 5.5. We're gonna fold it in half. I did not do a score line on it, so we'll just use our bone folder. All right, and then we're gonna build our base on this. So this is actually 4 by 5.25. And then I've cut some DSP. Isn't that DSP fun? That's why I added the splashes on there, because I felt like it went with the paper. So this is cut to 5 by 2.5, and this piece is cut to 5 by 1.25. So just make sure if you're cutting your images, like these two images don't matter, but sometimes the images do matter. Like you want to make sure they're going the right way. Just make sure before you cut them, you know, like they say, measure twice, cut once, right? So we're just going to go ahead and, you know what, let's get rid of this base real quick here. So I always put a piece of white, and you could take some of your leftover scraps and put it inside of this as well, or you could even stamp in it. So you know what, I think let's stamp in it, because I have not done that in a while. And so I'm gonna put this in, and I should have stamped it first, but because I just had that thought process way too late, we're gonna stamp it after we put it in. So I'm gonna grab my pecan pie again, and I'm just gonna grab the little splatter and just splatter it right on the corner. How cute and simple is that? And you can do that on your envelopes too, you guys. Whoever's getting this card is gonna go, oh my God, that's so stinking cute. Let me show you. So that we'll do that there, but like on this one, I actually took the paper and put it. So that's just a 4 by 3.25, 4 inches by 3.25 little scrap that I had left from that piece of paper. So you can do that, or you can stamp in it. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. All right, we're gonna set that aside for right now, and let's build our little panel here. I don't want to put this panel on yet, because obviously you can see we have a ribbon going through it. And so we want to do that first, but we're going to build the panel. And I always cut it so you're creating like a little frame on this piece. So that's why it's 1/4 of an inch smaller. I think that's good. And then we're going to bring this one in. And we're going to leave a little bit of a gap because the ribbon's going to cover it, so it's not that big of a deal. If your gap is a little off, and it looks like I might need to slide over a little bit. It's too late. That song has already been sung, so it's okay because we're going to cover it up with ribbon. All right. I just want to make sure now at this point that my frame along the edge looks okay. Like I said, it might look a little goofy here, but that's okay, because like I said, we'll cover it up with ribbon. So the ribbon, this is the ribbon that goes with it. It is called Natural Polka Dot. Is that what they're calling it? It's a natural color polka dot trim. So I don't know, can you see the polka dots on there? So it's like a burlap almost. So what I did is I took it and I cut it, because I'm not a fan of the real thick ribbon like that. So I cut it lengthwise, you know, not just like that, but I cut up the ribbon to create a smaller piece. And we're gonna wrap it around the panel and end it at the top there. So I actually wanna pull some more this way, because we're gonna tie more up here, if that makes sense. Yes. And you can see where it's a little bulkier because it is that burlap ribbon. So I'm just gonna tie a knot. I am not gonna try to do anything fancy by any means, because I can't do that. I could if I tried really hard, but not while I'm doing a video. Okay. So you can see then it covered up my boo-boo. So what I am gonna do though, because this knot is so thick and it keeps wanting to turn, I'm gonna put a little glue dot right here just to hold it where it needs to be. because I don't want it flip-flopping around. So I'm gonna just put a glue dot right here on the edge, or in the, where that seam of the, there, that, you can see that. Does that make sense? Okay. All right, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my ribbon scissors and I'm actually gonna cut up the edges of this, and I'm gonna pull it apart to give it a different look, like a shredded look. Did you go, oh my gosh, didn't know I could do that. I forget that you can do this kind of stuff. I tend to be crazy that way. And I'm actually gonna cut this down a little bit before I do that. And we're gonna cut up again, cut up again. You can see where it breaks apart the fiber. So I'm just gonna pull all that apart to give it kind of a fuzzy, fun, different. And you know what? This one keeps wanting to turn. So I'm gonna go ahead and put another glue dot under there because he's kind of making me mad right now. Oh. So I'm just gonna grab, oops, another glue dot and stick it under here just to help control things. All right, so that's pretty easy, right? Okay, so let's go ahead. I feel like this card is not, it's kind of wanting to pop up a little bit more than we want it to pop up. So I'm gonna put some more down there. Okay, and then I'm gonna just glue this down here. And then I'm gonna make sure there's glue goes along the ribbon as well. And that will help hold it down because it's a little bit of a bulkier ribbon. But it's so fun, I think, when you can cut it like that and do different things with it. All right, that should be good enough. And let's lay that down. All right, give it a nice rub. Make sure all the glue is going where it needs to go. Yippee skippy. Okay, so now we can put down our little cups because we have our base all ready to go. And I think I'll do maybe this. I like to dry, this is called like a dry gluing. As you kind of set it down first before you go all crazy, you want to see like, how is this gonna work? Like, do I want to do it that way? Do I want to do it this way? Like the cup going that way and this way? Because this one had my two hearts, so I had to kind of keep it, the same. But you could do whatever. So I think I do like it with like the handle kind of sticking up like that. So we'll go ahead and glue that one down. Okay, and then we'll glue this on top of it. I just love this. Oops. You could make some cute gift cards. We did not do gift card holders with this set, but what a cute set to do gift card holders for Starbucks. Like, my daughter and my husband are huge Starbies. I mean, oh my gosh, it drives me crazy. I love Starbucks too, but I don't go every day. I think they might. So I should probably create some gift card holders for them for their Starbucks cards, because they are total Starbie heads. It cracks me up. It's like, okay, we have coffee at home. Oops, just put the, but they don't forget me, so I can't complain. If it's a weekend run, I'm always included, so that makes me happy. All right, almost there. Did we get them all? I think so. Okay. Actually, this one maybe looks better that way because of the design. I feel like it's, yeah, because there's a little heart there. I didn't notice that before. So we're gonna have to do it this way. Yes, cute. Okay, so let's do our other embellishments as well. Even though I think this is okay, and I might cut that a little shorter because it feels like it's maybe out of control right now, but that's okay too. So we're gonna go ahead and just add some of our fun little embellishments. And oh my gosh, this is so cute. How can you not get enough of that? So there's that. And like I said, I think I'll trim this just a little bit more. And yeah, I think that's a little better. I felt like I said, I felt like they were kind of getting a little out of control there. All right, so there is the second project we did. Okay, here is project number 3. You know how I said the coffee cup paper was my favorite page in the 12 that you get? This is my second favorite. And if you could see my studio, you'd know why, because I have an accent wall and almost like a Lost Lagoon color. I just love that color. So this is so happy and cheerful to me and in my happy place, you know, when I see it. So this is gonna be the third card. This is, again, we're using for the little triangles, or the little triangles, the little squares. We are using the stylish shapes for that again. And so let's go ahead and stamp. So I'm gonna use Early Espresso here, and I'm gonna grab my pad again, because you just never know. Sometimes they're a little cranky about not stamping the way you need it to stamp, and I just got ink all over it, and that's okay. That's what it's all about, right? So I'm gonna stamp it first, just makes me feel better. And then we're gonna stamp it. Oh, I'm seeing a little bit of fuzz on there. So let's clean that stamp for a second here and get rid of the fuzz, otherwise our image will be really weird looking. All right, so we're gonna do that again. Tap, tap, tap. And sorry if you can see my head for a second here. I wanna make sure I'm lined up. Oh, that's not very good. I think I might need a little more tap, tap, tap on that. Let's see. Oh, we used the heck out of this pad yesterday for all the stamping we did. Maybe I needed to be right more in the middle. Yeah, we're gonna have to do some re-inking. So, oh, lucky you guys, you get to see me re-ink something. So let's grab my, I have the re-inker, and I'm just gonna go ahead and, I thought I had re-inked this pad before. Take my re-inker, I go back and forth, and then back and forth, and we're just gonna let it I'm just taking the tip of the bottle and kind of massaging it into the pad. We'll do a little bit more. And you can see the pad is soaking it up. So you know when the pad is soaking it up like that, it's dry. So if it would stay on the top, see how it's kind of like disappearing into the pad? If it would stay on top of the pad, you know then that it doesn't really need to be re-inked. Like you can see on the edge here, nobody was stamping on the edges or using the edge of the pad. So the edge of the pad probably has plenty of ink, but look at all that stuff in the middle just disappeared because it was thirsty. So we're just gonna rub it in there for a second. And I'm actually, before I stamp on it, I'm gonna let it sit for just a second and let it absorb a little bit. So we're gonna put that aside, and we'll go ahead and get the rest of the card ready to go. So this is thick white cardstock, and I will advise you now, the new catalog comes out May 1st, and the cardstock is going up in price. So if you have some favorites, definitely get them before May 1st, because you want to save a little money there and use the rest of your money for buying all the fun stamps and stuff. So this is Lost Lagoon, and it's cut at 3 3/4 by 5. And then I cut the DSP just 1/4 of an inch smaller. So this is 3 1/2 by 4 3/4. And you guys, at the end of the video, in my comments, you'll be able to pull up the instructions I have on this. And it's just, it's not step by step because I'm doing it for you in the video, but you'll be able to pull up a PDF that has pictures and measurements of everything. So that's why on this one, I'm not putting the measurements into the video because I already have it all written down on a project sheet for you. So that's what I'm calling them. They're project sheets. They're not they're not a tutorial. They're just project sheets telling you the supplies that I used and the measurements that were used. So you are more than welcome to take that and use it how you will. So, okay, so let's finish this. I just had that moment there as I was working, like, oh yeah, just so you know. It'll be the first time that I have added it. So if you don't see it right away, you can go to my blog and pick it up as well, and I'll put it out there. All right, so we're just gonna do that. And now you can see I have a little ribbon here, and I'm gonna just do one of those little tricks where I just have a little piece and I'm gonna run it along and tuck it behind. I'm not gonna bring it all the way around because there's no bow or anything on it. So I'm actually gonna trim this just a little bit so I don't have all that excess hanging over the edge of the card. But what I will do then is I'm gonna take my glue dots, and glue dots are wonderful for this. And I'm gonna attach my ribbon to the glue dot and hopefully it'll pick it up. There you go. And then I'm going to, before I put it under, I'm gonna make sure I have the right amount of length there, which it looks like I do. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put it over like that and have it stick down that way. And then again, when I have the glue, when I put the glue down, we will be able to kind of re-fasten it that way as well. So again, glue dot to the project. Don't pick it up with your fingers. You will do yourself no favors. And then I'm just gonna scoot this all the way across and tuck it under, just like that. Beautiful. And now we'll take our glue, getting to the end of this. I'm just gonna put some on the ribbon too, just to make sure it holds it down, because that would be embarrassing if your card started to fall apart on whoever you sent it to. So let's go ahead, we're gonna line it up. And then I'm just gonna kind of press it into place. That, like I said, this ribbon's a little bulky, so I wanna make sure, so you can see my corner's already coming up there. So I'm gonna just press it back down because I didn't hold it long enough. And just make sure it's nice and good. I think that should do it. Give it a little pressure where the ribbon, and I did, like I said, I put the glue on top of the ribbon as well. So we'll do that. Okay, so let's go back to getting that all prepped. So I think our ink is good now. So let's go ahead. I actually cut another one of these little squares. How smart of me. If I have extra paper, I always try to cut 2 of everything just in case. So let's go ahead. Before I stamp it though, I'm gonna give it a test run, make sure my ink's okay. Yes, that's much better. And it's right there. Oh yeah, so much better. Okay, beautiful. You can look at what I did versus what I have now. Yep, so re-inkers are a beautiful thing. Okay, so then I went and I cut another cup that I had from my paper. And look at these, you guys are so adorable. These cute little teacups that you can cut out. I'm in love. So I noticed, this is how we're gonna do this one. I'm gonna do my cup off to the side this way. This is for a left-handed cup holder because I noticed my die didn't quite, I missed it when I did it, but I'm not gonna waste that because that is a nice cup, right? And then I'm gonna use one of these cups to cover up my boo-boo. So again, I am not all about the perfection. I'm about the creating. And there are times that I go, oh God, that was really sad. So I will go back and redo it, but don't get too caught up in things that are not perfect. All right, so put a little glue on the back of that. I'm gonna set that down there. And then I'm gonna pop this one up with a dimensional, and my dimensionals went hiding on me. And then this will kind of hide that boo-boo. Boo-boo, boo-boo. Look at that. Perfect. Perfectly hidden. So you can see no one would even see that. All right, and now we're gonna put this down here, but we're gonna use dimensionals again because this ribbon again is very bulky. Cute, but bulky. So we wanna go ahead and get our dimensionals down. And the one thing I'm gonna do too is because I always like to have a dimensional in the middle, but unfortunately because of the ribbon, I really can't, otherwise it would look weird. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put just like right here and right here so the ribbon has room to move through, if that makes sense. And I'm gonna make sure my flat side of my dimensional is going along there so the ribbon can sit properly. All right, oops. And I'll set that there. Oh my gosh, is that so stinking cute? And then let's grab our embellishments. We'll do some dark ones again. Put one right there. And some up here and here. Oh my gosh, you guys. Love, love, love this card. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Okay, our fourth project is this cute fun fold card. Hello there, let's catch up. Oh, and then a place for you to write. So I love this. It's just fun, different kind of card, easy peasy. And of course, you can see my favorite papers being used. So let's go ahead and get started on that. We're gonna go ahead and I think stamp our sentiment right now. We'll do that real quick. Oops, let's grab our ink. Get good there. And hopefully I'm straight. I think I am. Beautiful, perfect. So we'll set that aside. Let's set aside the ink as well, because you know, put your hand in it. All right, so let's go ahead and do the scoring for this card. Like I said, it's really easy. This is one of the basic fun folds that you can do. So you're actually gonna score you're actually gonna score at 2 3/4 and 5 1/2. So you fold your card in half and then fold one of the halves in half is basically what happens here. So 2 3, oops, we don't want to cut it. 2 3/4 and then 5. I mean, it's a very basic, so you fold it in half and then you fold one of the other pieces in half. So that's how those work. Super easy, okay? So our first piece that we're gonna put on is this inside piece. And this is cut, you know, like a normal little panel would be cut, the 4 by 5 1/4 is what that is. Look at the fun little beans, coffee beans. All right. And so that's gonna go on the inside. And then I'm gonna lay down right away the inside piece because then I'll have it there for my template on where I'm gonna put my other piece, and you'll see what I mean by that in a minute. So we'll go ahead, since we have it open, and we'll put that down. Okay. Just centering it as best I can, just eyeballing it. Okay, so then the next piece I have is the piece that is gonna go right here. And I am gonna take my bone folder and give it a nice little score again, because I wanna make sure that it's gonna lay nice and flat. So this piece then is cut to 2.5 by 4. And we're just gonna lay it there. Wanted to make sure. Sometimes my measurements are right on paper, but wrong when I do them. So let's make sure I did it right. I know I can't be the only one that happens to, right? Okay, so then there's that piece. And then we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put that aside just for a sec. And we're gonna go ahead and put this panel together. Trying to get the glue to come out. I'm toward the ends there. All right. And we're gonna lay that. Just make sure you're framed out there. And then I did go ahead and cut some more of my cups out of the paper because I love it so much. So you can see here that I'm gonna actually, I think, put this one straight since the leaf is going that way. But then I'll kind of do it that way. I just didn't want the sentiment to interfere with the cups. So I think maybe I'll do that, not quite so crooked, and that will work beautifully. Oops. I'm gonna bring it down a little bit so my sentiment has a little room. Okay. That probably was a little too far over, but I can live with it, and whoever gets it can live with it, right? And then we're gonna just lay that there. So I'm not gonna do the top half of this because I don't want it to get glued down to my piece. So we're just gonna do that. All right. And then when you go to put it here, make sure you're only putting adhesive on one half of it, because if you put it on the whole, then you're gonna really mess up your card. You're not gonna be able to open it. So I am just putting glue on this side like that. I'm not doing half, I'm just kind of erring on the side of caution because I don't want anything. So now this is what I'm using as my template to set it down, is I wanna make sure it hides that white piece, and it doesn't quite, so let's fix that. So when it's closed, you don't see the white piece. You just see, the coffee, and then they open it. Oh, there's, a little writing in there for them. Okay, so that's good there. And then of course, now we need to put our embellishments on. And I'm gonna do the little bit lighter ones since we have dark words. And there you go. Pretty easy, you guys, right? So stinking cute. All right, let's move on to our last project. All right, our last project is this cute little box, and it's a K-cup holder because, we did it all about coffee, right? So, of course, it has to hold a K-cup. If you didn't do it with a K-cup, you could add some fun chocolates or even cash in there for a little gift if you wanted. But I thought, oh my gosh, that's the perfect little box for a K-cup. So we're gonna make that real quick. So this does involve scoring and cutting, obviously. You will need 5 of these, and I'm doing these a little different. I use this paper on this box, but I'm gonna use this one this time. This is 1 3/4 by 1 3/4, and you need 5 of them. So you will need a piece of cardstock that measures 6 by 8.5, and we need to do some scoring. So I'm gonna have to open my scorer up here. And scoring landscape, you're gonna score at, and I'm actually gonna do this backwards right now because it's at a 1/2 inch, and I am better versed at doing it this way. So 1/2 inch, and now I've turned it because I'm going the other way. So then I'm gonna do 2.5, 4.5, and 6.5. And my 6.5, I always just struggle. Or my 6 1/4, I do. My 6.5's okay. All right. And then we're gonna turn it and score it on the short side or portrait side at 1.5, 3.5, and 5.5. Okay. Again, I will hook you up with my project sheet, so don't worry right now about the measurements if you missed them, or you can stop the video and go back and see what I said, and hopefully it's right. Okay, so now we need to do some cutting. And it does get a little tricky, I will say, but this, you should be able to do it no problem. There is a little, I'm gonna go ahead and just do this so you can see my scores a little bit better, so you can see what I'm talking about when I'm doing this. So, and then I'll go back with the bone folder and we'll make it a little bit better here, because I think I just might have messed myself up when I just did what I did. Okay, so the best way to remember this is all these bigger squares that are equal, they should be equal if you scored right. These are the bottom flaps, okay? So keep that in mind. That's super important. And you're going to remove, that's how I kept it straight in my mind, I should say. So you're going to remove this little triangle here, okay? And both of these. So you're gonna, this is your fold-in flap. So I wanna show you when you open your box, that's the flap there. And you're gonna only have one of those left. So we wanna get rid of these this other rectangle and this tiny itty bitty square. So let's do that. There. And then you're gonna come in and just click it all the way off. No problem, okay? And then what we wanna do is we're gonna create our flaps. So we want to just cut up on our flaps here, here, and here. And again, if you remember, these are the bottoms, so you're not gonna do anything other than that with the bottom. It's this that we're gonna mess with now. All right, so we wanna keep this one. Let's see, I wanna make sure I'm telling you right now. So you are gonna get rid of some of this stuff. So let's go ahead and cut up. That is not the lip, I just totally lied to you. You're gonna cut up on each of these to that score line. Okay. Cut up on all of them. This is actually a taping place. I got my little head confused. Okay, so what we wanna do then is we wanna get rid of some of these flaps. Again, these are the bottom, so we wanna keep the bottom in place. So the best thing to do is I'm going to go from this end and I'm gonna cut off about, I'm not looking at this because this is gonna disappear. I'm looking at this whole square and I'm going, okay, I'm gonna cut half of that off. And then I'm gonna, my half isn't that great, but it's okay because it's gonna be hidden. So I'm gonna miter that so it looks like that. And if you really hate that that you did that bad, like me, just trim it up. All right, and then this flap is gonna totally come off. Now these are not, I have the scoring directions in my project sheet that you can get from me, but I don't have this in it. So this is something you might have to stop and go on. Okay, so we've cut that one totally off. And now we are going to do a half on this one, like we did on the first one, okay? And then we'll go ahead and miter it. Okay. And then I can see my trim job here was not the best, so I'm gonna trim that up just a little bit, just so it looks a little even. Okay, so there, that is what it should look like. I'm gonna lay this out so you can snap a screenshot if you need to do that. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take, this is an old corner rounder that we used to sell years and years ago that I never got rid of. So I'm going to corner round it because this is the flap that goes in that I misspoke on earlier. So now that is what your little box template should look like. Okay, so I have my little flaps that have all been cut here. So it's all good to go, right? So before I put it together though, I'm gonna go ahead and put my squares on because it's just so much easier when everything is flat, right? So just put them, line them up nice. Oops. It doesn't matter because they're all going to be on, you can see like this, it's just all on separate sides. But I am going to put a darker, like this darker, so when my circle goes on there, it'll look a little different. Okay. Pinky fingers. We did lots of playing and inking yesterday, so my fingers are covered. And sometimes it takes a couple days in the shower to get off, doesn't it? Okay. And one more. Okay. Do that. All right. So what I'm going to do now is put the box together. And I always tell my guys and gals that you need to use tear and tape or sticky strip when you do this, just because this is something that someone is going to be handling, they're going to be opening. You don't want it to fall apart on you. And sometimes when you use those roller adhesives, you know, like the old snails we used to have, that stuff will fall apart. So I want to go ahead and put sticky strip or tear and tape, you know, old habits, right? There. And I'm going to pull this off. This is the easiest way to do it, so you're not struggling with what the heck. So then I'm going to lay this flap over like that and then bring my box right to it. And it's a perfect put together then for your box. Give it a good rub. And ooh, look at that. That's the top of our box, right? My rounding wasn't very good, so we'll have to maybe do my rounding. You can see it's a little off there. So for your bottom, you're just gonna do this, 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 and then this. So I'm gonna just put tear tape on the one, and I might put 2 strips just to make sure it holds itself where it needs to. Okay, so you can see I've just been a little messy there. Let's cut some of that off. I'm just cutting off what I don't need. And again, I'm gonna do that. Take my poker, pull that off. Okay, close that. Make sure it's nice and even here. And then I'm just gonna take my bone folder for the inside and give it a nice rub just to make sure that my tear and tape is nice and good. Because you don't want that coming across or going bye-bye, right? All right, so let's see if we can fix this. I did not do a very good job trimming, so we're gonna try that one more time. Don't ever get frustrated. Just kind of look, and you can see where I didn't cut very well along the score line. So we'll just fix it with a little trim, and it will be magical. Maybe. I didn't cut far enough, huh? So we're just gonna give it a little trim, get some of that excess off of there. And you can kind of see too my box I might not be totally square now that I'm looking at it. There you go. Now, it is beautiful, right? Easy peasy. Sometimes you just gotta pivot. Okay, so let's finish our box. Whoops. And I cut out the smallest circle from the Stylish Shapes. And I'm not gonna go so light this time. I think I'm gonna go back to my Early Espresso. And we're gonna use the cute little stamp. This one's on me. Just stamp right on there. This one's on me. Cute, 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 cute. And I took some of the ribbon that we were talking about where I cut it lengthwise and made a little bow. So we'll put that on after we get the... So cute. And I'm gonna put this maybe a little higher than I have on my sample, just because that bow seems to be a little bulkier. So I'm just gonna do a little higher than I did on the other one. All right, make sure it's, and then we're gonna grab a couple glue dots for this, because this little bow is wanting to do its own dance. So I think I'm gonna put a couple glue dots on it. See, it already wanted to do that. So I'm trying to keep its little tail going the way it needs to go, but it says, no, we're not doing what you want. So there you go. You have your little bow. And then of course we have to put our little embellishments. And I'm just choosing every color because I think it's fun. So we're gonna do, we'll do one here, and we'll do one over here, and we'll do one here. Fun, fun. So that's it, a cute little K-cup box that, you know, just give to a friend. Now, some of the gals at my class yesterday, they did cut out some more of the little coffee cups, and they put it right here on the front, which I thought was a really cute idea as well. So you could do that as well. So that's it, you guys. These are the cute little projects we did at my Spring Fling, and everybody had such a good time. And I hope if you're local to me or not local to me, I do on the goes. That's why I'm doing this video. And you get all the goodies from me. So this is what we did. So much fun. I hope you enjoyed my presentation and my presentation, like I'm in front of people, you know. But that's it, you guys. Thanks for stopping by. And if you have any questions, just shoot me a message. Happy stamping.